Hashtag tattoo rebels beauty. This is Luis Martin, the art engineer, and I'm not screaming. Welcome to another collage dream prompt weekly. This week, we are going to work with limited resources. A few episodes ago, we were like, chaos, let's get rid of everything. So I got rid of everything. Not really. And thought I'd just do something with a few images. So for this one, I found a fantastic image by the photographer Ellen von Unsworth. And they're really beautiful, and honestly, they're a little boring. I mean, yeah, they're gorgeous. Maybe because I'm a gay guy. But I just think they're boring. Beauty is great, it sells clothes, but listen, as artists we can go a little bit deeper. As artists we can deconstruct things, hashtag deconstruct you guys, and take it a little further. So today I wanted to play with the idea of tattoos. I have a few, not a lot, but they're a fun concept. So come on over and see what we can do with these beautiful images. Behind the camera we have
the one and only Chunky Baker.
Hey Chunky Baker. So I thought, what beautiful space, right? Very clear skin, so big. So I have these two pieces of paper, and I thought, you know what, how cool it would be if I kind of went tribal almost and cut out some images. So let's play with that. Let's take our time and kind of breathe. I'm usually really frantic and really inspired when I create my collages. But yeah, so tattoos. Do you have any? Elvis, do you have any?
Nope, not. Who's never such a rebel?
Well, I was. So I don't have too many. I do have my little X, which reminds me, X hits the spot. Whenever you need that energy, I go, and then I get that energy. So I'm going to play with this idea of a mask maybe, right? So I'm going to make some fine lines, and I'm going to take my time on this. But the idea is, and this is really good paper, so I can make fine incisions, because when it's like magazine paper, it's hard to make fine incisions and fine markings. But look, we do that and all of a sudden, bam, it like lights up. It's like neon, right? So let me play with that. A good place to start is kind of just accentuating what's already there. This is almost even inspired by the Day of the Dead, because the Day of the Dead, when they do the skulls, they create all this beautiful like filigree. So maybe I'll play with that idea of creating filigree. That's a $10 worth. That's really worth only $2. But it's the idea of kind of creating all this flowery texture and visual mess, really. So let's see where this takes us. So I like the idea of tattoo. I mean, everyone has tattoos now except for Elvis. But, you know, they're commonplace. Before it was sailors and prisoners and natives that use it for ceremony. I, of course, see it in that way too. I also have a tattoo here. That means the beginning, the middle, the end, the father, the child, the mother. So, you know, tattoos are fun to have interesting meanings. So look at this. Already it starts to look kind of interesting, right? So you can do flowers, you can do names. I think I want to do a name or a word. We'll see. Obviously, we can do tears because we are so dramatic. I'm so emotive, you guys. But I don't want to be too dramatic. So maybe we can unite both of them in a minute. So take your time. Like I said, unlike most of my other videos, I'm usually really frantic and inspired, and I'm just as inspired. But I think for this one, we need to think from a different part of our brain, because it is fine cuts that we're going to be making. So you don't want to rush through this, and you don't want to cut yourself, because that's not how you make tattoos. That's just how you make scars. Okay, like it. So, okay, I want to make a little heart on her third eye. See if I can do that. And if we want to be even cooler, we can do it as a outline instead of an actual shape. So collaging is kind of just like drawing, you guys. Once you've cut out the contours of so many things, your hand-eye coordination has probably gotten really, really good. So play with that. See if you can draw with paper and see where that takes you. I like that star she has on her eyes too. Maybe I want some stars. Fun. Okay, fine. We'll be dramatic and make her cry and give this side 2. It's so silly. So I'm super serious about like how I make art. So I try not to be so cliche sometimes, or give in to tropes of like, oh, she's a woman, make her cry, or she's a woman, look how beautiful she is. But sometimes, you know, it's not that serious, you guys. Something I have to remember. It's not that serious. So let's just have some fun and see what happens. If you did have a tattoo, Elvis, what would it be of?
Some type of a Pokemon or something.
Well, that's authentic, yes. I didn't expect that. Good for you. Which Pokemon would you get, Mr. Elvis?
Pikachu.
Pikachu, you're too funny. Let's see. What word should I put? If I knew how to spell laugh, I'd put laugh. How about just laugh? Elvis looks at me like, you don't know how to spell love? No, not today. Check this out. All right. I just don't think laugh is such a graceful word as much as love is. So I'm going to put it on her forehead. That's kind of transgressive in and of itself. But again, we're not taking it so serious, right? So it's fun. It's fun to play with this like idea of, I guess we can call it even calligraphy, right? I hope I can do this without wrecking this. So take your time and try to put a word, see what happens. So I'm going to try to do this without, I think that's it. I'm going to try not to cut the, I mean, if it looks like a G, but it's also an O. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, there we go. Okay, well, let me just cut this because I want it to be the same width as my O. Very cool. All right, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. The V is an easy one to do. So this is really fun. The more time you take and the more patterns you create, the more intriguing an image it'll be. So take your time. I'm gonna try to take my time. But you know me and my ADD and my, oops, I did it. So that was supposed to be an E. So I'm not happy with that. So you know what? I'm just gonna turn it into a different E. There's always a solution, you guys. It's gonna be a fat E, but whatever. It's gonna be a chunky E. Okay, that's just as fine. Ooh, look at that. That's beautiful from the back too. So it's somewhat of a different ballgame when you work so fine, right? But you might find that it's actually something that suits you and suits your nature. So kind of play with that, see where it takes you. And look at some Aborigine ethnographic images of these beautiful paintings of Aboriginal people and how they had their body art and other body modifications. I remember when I was in my 20s, I had my tongue pierced. That was silly. But I had like for 10 years. And then my labret. So silly. So pretty, but so much maintenance. My goodness. All right, so this is going somewhere really fast. So again, the more intricate you make it, the funner it's going to be. So I'm just going to create as many wavy lines as I can without breaking the paper. Right. It'd be really funny if I added my zip code or something. Well, I'm going to put my original zip code. Do you know what that is, Elvis?
I do not. I know it's like a 902.
No! What? I'm not from Beverly Hills. It's 213. That's the... Oh, I'm sorry, area code. I said zip code, didn't I? But no, even that would have been wrong. So I'm going to put my 213 area code of LA. 90210. What was my area code? 90015, I think.
That was close. It was a 90.
There you go. That's California. So I think that's the fun thing about art, right? We get to put all these things that are meaningful to us, but especially when you're coming up with a tattoo, even if it's just on paper, you know, you can fill it up with with symbolism and meaning. I know in the street gang vernacular, it was that if you had a teardrop tattooed to your eye, it means you had killed somebody or something like that. That could just be a street myth or something, but I think it's
Why don't you put your current area code on the other side?
because I was gonna put a teardrop. No, I'm just kidding. What is my current one? It's 718 or 917? Both.
718 is the proper one usually.
Okay, fine. We'll do 718 on the other cheek. So that'll be a fun challenge, you guys. If you make your tattoos and put some hidden meaning, and we'll try to figure out what that is. So when you do a number that has spaces in between.
713 is on your East Coast, and 718 is on the other way around.
Oh my goodness. So when you're making a number and it's a 0 and it needs a circle, so if you just allow them not to touch, it kind of works. See that 8, so that we don't have what happened here. So that's fun. Did that work out? East, west?
213 is on the West Coast.
That's so cool. All right, so I'm gonna give her a mustache because come on now, that's fun. Who doesn't love a nice mustache on a pretty face? Oh, I love it. All right, now this is fun. I just loved it. For a minute, I was like, she's still too pretty. Okay, now this is fun. Let's check it out. Super cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, love it. It even looks really nice in the green. And the only reason I didn't look for a green paper is because why? Contrast, you guys. Look at this contrast. So much nicer, right? Even the yellow does. Ooh, wow. The yellow pops a lot more than the orange. Because look at the green. It just, I mean, it does pop, but this is something else. So let's keep going. I'm gonna give her a nice little cat eye, maybe more than she already has. It's interesting because the whole cholo culture and the whole gang culture from LA has become fashionable. In Spain, there's like a whole culture of it, as it is in Japan. So it's kind of cool. I like it. It trips me out a little bit because they all look like my mother's ex-boyfriends. Yes, my friends, it's real. What else? Look how cool. I don't want to put too much, but I think if you come up with like the star or like numbers, if you repeat them over and over, I think that'll be really fun too. Now, as much as I'm talking smack about this is too pretty and I want it to do something else, I'm still kind of like, oh, I don't want to make it too not pretty. So, you know, everything with moderation. Font. Oh my gosh. Okay, maybe one more. I even like the idea of giving her cigarettes some.
Does cigarette smoke?
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. But I don't know if you'll be able to tell that it's cigarette smoke and not a tattoo. So maybe not. But again.
Are you able to use the 2 different colors? Maybe the cigarette smoke will be orange and the rest will be...
Yeah, too much work though. Too much work. I'm liking this. All right, so maybe I want to play with this guy. So let me see. Oh, I love it. So you can take it a step further. This is really cool, but you can take it a step further. What if we create texture to the other side of this paper, right? What if we do a bunch of and we're just playing here, but this is a fun experiment to take it out of our wheelhouse. What if we start drawing? So this, even though we're just doing lines, this is introducing drawing, right? The more playful you get, the more exciting your collages will be, right? So let's just see, maybe it doesn't work, maybe it does. That's amazing, actually. Do you see that? Look at that. It just kind of creates another layer, another level. And we might not use it. Look, we still have a nice little side in the back, right? But let's play. Let's play. So.
You're just doing the lines with a pen?
I'm just doing the lines with a pen. And this, again, is kind of this idea of limited resources, right? We're just using a piece of colored paper from Staples. We're just using 2 images of a face, which you can find in any magazine. And that's it. And we're kind of going to town. So don't limit yourself with the idea of not having enough to play and get creative. So funny, this is a nice little cheap pen from like a hotel lobby that I got. And I can smell the ink. Fun. And again, anytime you do something repetitive, it's very meditative, you guys. I can feel myself relaxing already. All right, this is fun. Check that out. I approve. So, you know, play. This might be interesting too. Yeah, I like this. So let me commit to this real quick and see where it takes me. We can also cut into her hair, but I think the idea that it's just her face sells the whole idea of it being tattoos. Oops. It's raining outside. Can you guys hear that? Now, I think this is cool enough to stop, but look, we have another image, and I think it'd be really fun to kind of merge the 2 in some way. So let me play with this. I'm going to start by playing with the composition. I think we can nestle them. Yeah, see? Oh, fun. Love it. Cool. All right, so maybe we'll use the orange on her. So here we have a nice big cheek to play with. So let's see. I still think she needs a mustache. I'll give it a nice little twirl. Super cool. We'll give her nose a little heart-ish. And if you need some ideas as to the filigree and like the patterns you can do, Google some Day of the Dead images of the skulls, because they do amazing job when they do the sugar skulls, which represent the people that have passed. And it's just really beautiful the way they create all this beautiful texture that looks like calligraphy. All right, so I don't want to record too much. So let's just not. Why are they all crying, you guys? They're crying because they're so beautiful. So another fun activity, if you guys want to try, is I did a very similar collage with my face. I printed out a black and white selfie, and then I went to town, but I drew on my face instead of collaging too much. So check that out. It's on my Instagram page somewhere. I don't remember when that was. So now I'm gonna play with the way they do for the Day of the Dead, if I can remember. I guess you can also watch Coco. And when you're working on these, don't think about it too much. It's really just about keeping your hands moving, keeping your hands busy. And that'll usually create some nice texture, some nice movement on your page, especially when you're drawing. Very cool. So you know I'm all about instant gratification. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, very cool. So I'm gonna do a rose. So I can do a rose. So this will be the leaf of the rose. So a rose is basically just a bunch of half concentric circles. So be very careful. This was a little slippery. You saw that I almost felt it like it wanted to slip out of my hand. All right, I think this is going to be really cool actually. So that's really important of like mindset when you come to the studio. Every time I come to the studio, even for these prompts, I really don't have expectations, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna make something really cool. No, I just want to play. So when it comes out really fun or I really like it, it's always such a fun surprise. Oh, look, there's my rose. Looks like a rose to me. Maybe we can do like a stem. That's a weird stem, but it's a stem. And you can look up other fun stencil-y images that you can play with. And yeah, check that out, see? You can even actually use this as a stencil, right? As a stamp. You put it on a piece of paper and you blot it or something. That's kind of fun. So let me do again this cat eye situation that I really like. Yeah. What word should we put on our head? Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Parce que je suis bilingue. I'm gonna do it in Spanish because I'm bilingual. That was me trying to be trilingual. And I guess it gets easier as you do the letters. So as part of my secret power of my dyslexia, for some reason, I can write upside down and backwards really easy. So I think when you can bring your superpowers into your artwork, you cannot go wrong. So be a little messy, because maybe these are inmate lovers or something. Yeah, that's what it is. That's our story. All right, so this is a letter with a hole in the middle, so let's not do the same mistake twice. Okay. And again, this paper is a little tough, so be careful with tough paper. Oh, it's a little fat, but it's okay. And by fat, I mean it's just more chunkier than the other letters. But we won't judge. How fun is that? Yes. Okay. Maybe a little heart here. So that's my story. They are inmate lovers and they're having the time of their life, and they're gonna break out and rule the world. Duh. So this paper is really making me work. I'm sweating like a dog. Okay, and maybe just a little bit more filigree here. It takes a lot of commitment to have tattoos on your face. So props to whoever does. Elvis, we should get you a tattoo on your face.
What would it say?
Lola. That was one of our pugs. Yeah. This is it. I'm just gonna do one more. I mean, if you want to be really cool too, play with the positioning, right? So I'm gonna do the star as if it was kind of coming out of her face, right? So it looks like it goes, like it's training in space with her, the contour of her face. That's always fun. Check that out. Love it. Yes. Okay, so let me do the same treatment just for continuity and see what happens. I was gonna do with this. So you guys, I like to hang out in lobbies of hotels and take their pens. I mean, not steal them, but you know, they have really good cheap pens that just really work well for art. I love sketching with these pens. So meditate. Ooh, zen out. I totally zened out here. Okay, there we go. And you can be messy. You can do this freehand. It doesn't have to be so structured. Just a little bit more. Maybe perhaps this one could be in a different direction. Let's see. Ooh, yes, that's so fun. Yeah, I like it, right? Because one's going this way, one's going that way. I like it. So let's commit to this. So we'll start by creating a...
Do more lines on the bottom.
Oh, I guess you're right. Oh, I can do it upside down. Elvis is very efficient. I'm very lazy. See how that took care of itself? I love it. Oh, I don't like that though. Okay, let me take care of this. So you saw, I don't want to break that illusion, you guys. I really don't. I'm lazy, but I'm not without ethics. So we'll take care of that right now. Let me just secure this in place. Oh. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut her little chin off a little bit so we can continue with that illusion of them being next to each other. A little bit more. Is that cool? Yes. Perfect. All right, we're in business. So really have fun with this. This is a fun prompt because you really have to take your time actually to kind of sell this illusion. So, and then why stop there, right? We can add a little bit more to make it more atmospheric. And what am I going to do? I'm going to go to my favorite tool, my hole puncher. So this piece of paper was part of the book, and I just love how matte it is. So, I mean, if you're into collage, you know the differences in paper and the way they feel, and this one just feels so good. I have to use it. So I'm going to make some circles and create some fun rhythm. Yeah. So this is kind of just fun to play with. It doesn't have to make sense or anything. If they were bigger, it'd be fun to like give them Mickey Mouse ears. Actually, I guess we can, but they're not paying me, so let's not do that. And of course, we want to sell some spatial illusion. We can nestle some of them. We can even do that with a face over there, right? That's kind of fun. We'll put one behind her cheek. And I love the size. It's kind of an awkward little square shape. So that's fun when you're playing with these. You're playing without a substrate. Oh, I like that these stacked up. Again, try to put them where there's contrast, but you know, you do you. So they look like dangling earrings. There's something actually very Spanish about it. Not Spanish Latino, but Spanish like flamenco. There's a difference. Okay, let's see. Yes. So I'm gonna do my little triangle setting here. And then I think we're done. So I'm gonna wipe my sweat off and see what I did. Cool. I think this is a collage. Why does it work? Because there's so much rhythm, right? So the tattooing happened, and there's some hidden meanings everywhere. If you want, you can continue this and really go to town, especially if you have really good paper like this. And even maybe, look at that. We can use some of the scraps even to embellish even more. So you can play with that. I'm really happy, and I love these circles because they're not just taking up space, but they're creating kind of a certain rhythm and inviting more chaos, right? So this is my collage, tattooing, hashtag tattooing. What do your tattoos say about you? All right, I will see you here next week for the next Prompt Weekly, and I am so excited to see all of your wonderful work around the world. So take the challenge, share your work, and be part of this community. Ciao.